A sun-drenched Croke Park awaited the hurlers of Longford and Warwickshire as they met on the big stage in this year's Lory Meagher Cup final. And it was the appropriately named Michael Birmingham who gave the ex-Pats a 3-point lead after 5 minutes with an excellent strike. Longford goalkeeper Éanna Daly did his best to keep the Leinster team in touch with an incredible free from inside his own half. 6-3 Warwickshire's lead with 15 minutes gone. When Fulham Gales man Enda Lyons picked up possession on the 40, a big gap opened up. A slight deflection took his shot past the keeper, and suddenly the ex-Pats had an 8-point lead. The next piece of action is one for the game's historians. Sean Hennessy's 65 was initially flagged as a score, but on closer inspection, Hawkeye, in use for the very first time in a hurling match, decided otherwise, and it was correctly ruled out. A late goal for Warwickshire put the seal on the win and gave emigrant hurling a timely boost and a very first Lory Meagher Cup victory on a full-time scoreline of Warwickshire 2-16, Longford 10 points.
It's absolutely magic. Magic, you know, we got over the line. It's wonderful for hurling in the UK. Brings Warwickshire hurling on a ton, and immigration has played its part in getting us here, you know, and thanks be to God we got over the line with a bit of style.
The second game at Croke Park yesterday was a 6-goal thriller. Roscommon got the ball rolling with Cathal Kelly. A slight hint of square ball perhaps, but a neat finish nonetheless. 8 minutes, 1-2 to 3 points. It was nip and tuck after that until the half-hour mark. Donegal centre forward Sean McVeigh carved out a goal-scoring opportunity all on his own. Despite the tight angle, his finish was top class and gave Pádraig Dolan no chance in the Roscommon goal. Just on the stroke of half-time, Roscommon had their second goal, which helped them into a 3-point lead at half-time when Jerry Fallon buried a 21-yard free. The second half began in a blaze, with 3 goals inside the first minute. Donegal struck first through full forward Paddy Hannigan with a deft flick past Pádraig Dolan, and then 30 seconds later, Roscommon fired in their third of the day when goalkeeper Paul Burns seemed unsighted by the glaring sun, and the ball deflected past him to keep it a 3-point game, the Rossies leading 3-10 to 2-10. A minute later, Donegal were down to 14 men as midfielder Ronan McDermott got his marching orders for what looked like a second yellow. This galvanised the Ulster side, and when Lee Henderson drew them level with this sublime strike, it was all back in the melting pot with 20 minutes to play. The killer blow for the Rossies came via an old-fashioned delivery into the Donegal full-forward line, and Paddy Hannigan on the edge of the square and maybe the edge of the rulebook bundled the ball into the back of the net. A 3-point lead for Tyrconnell heading down the home stretch proved decisive, and victory here on the back of Lory Meagher's success 2 years ago hints at a brighter future for hurling in the northwest. Full-time score Donegal 3-20, Roscommon 3-16.
Winning the cup means a lot, Murray, but also getting into the Christy ring and playing stronger teams and trying to keep promoting game and getting young ones to play hurling and more clubs to take up in Donegal means a lot to this group of players.
Two teams more accustomed to gracing the hallowed turf of HQ with the big ball battled it out for Christy ring honours in Game 3 yesterday. And what a game. It was barely a minute old when Gareth Magic Johnston goal, the first score of the match. Less than a minute later and Kerry responded. Excellent corner forward play by inside man Pádraig Boyle to anticipate the knockdown, and a beautiful ground stroke dispatched with aplomb past down goalkeeper Stephen Keith. With Kerry 2 points down after 10 minutes, Shane Nolan won a great ball, and his turn and strike was again signalled incorrectly by the umpire, who waved it wide. Never fear, Hawkeye to the rescue, and justice was done. And now Kerry trailed by 1. 2 minutes later, and that man Shane Nolan popped up again, running onto a lovely flicked hand pass from Aidan Boyle. His turn and rasper of a finish gave the Kingdom a 2-point lead midway through the first half. Approaching half-time, down trail by 5, wing-back Michael Ennis was judged to have been fouled, and Down had the first of 2 penalties. Their centre-back Paul Braniff struck it well, but it was high and over the crossbar. 15 minutes into the second half, with the gap still 4 points, they got their second penalty when Magic was hauled down and the referee was given no option. This time Braniff went lower, and despite a good save, Scott Nicholson was quickest to react, and now we most certainly had a game on our hands. The teams were level deep into the second minute of the 3 allotted and extra time loomed. But in trying to clear their lines, down put the ball across the face of their own goal, and Paddy Boyle, quick as a flash, latched onto it. And it looked like a Kerry team would finally beat a down team at Croker. Cue one more twist in the tail, however. A hidden hope on the edge of the square was flicked home by magic, and who'd have believed it? The final whistle moments later. The Christy Ring Cup was heading north in an amazing game on a full-time scoreline of down 3-16, Kerry 2-17. And a delighted Paul Braniff collecting the Christy Ring Cup after that tremendous victory.
Today was a lovely day to win, and to be honest, this Christy Ring thing means so much to us, and we've probably tried for it for 7 or 8 years since I tried. It's a beautiful day, beautiful day.
Well done to Darren. Cyril, a day of surprise in Croke Park.
Yeah, there's